Namaskar everybody and welcome to the 45th day of our Ramayana Satsanga. Lakshmೀನಾಥ ಸಮಾರಂಭಾಂ ನಾಥಯಾಮುನ ಮಧ್ಯಮಾಂ ಅಸ್ಮದಾಚಾರ್ಯ ಪರ್ಯಂತಾಂ ವಂದೇ ಗುರುಪರಂಪರಾಂ ಯೋ ನಿತ್ಯಮಚ್ಯುತ ಪದಾಂಬುಜಯುಗ್ಮ ರುಗ್ಮ ವ್ಯಾಮೋಹತಸ್ತದಿತರಾಣಿ ತೃಣಾಯ ಮೇನೆ ಅಸ್ಮದ್ಗುರೋರ್ಭಗವತೋಸ್ಯ ದಯೈಕ ಸಿಂಧೋಃ ರಾಮಾನುಜಸ್ಯ ಚರಣೌ ಶರಣಂ ಪ್ರಪದ್ಯೆ आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहं यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारी परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकं कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम् वेदवेद्ये परे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदप्राचेत सादासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मना. With prayers at the lotus feet of Sri Rama and Acharyas, let us go to our topic for today. So yesterday's satsang we had seen how Hanuman set fire to Lanka and then he is flying back across the ocean. Now as he is flying back, you remember that Mainak mountain which had come in his path to offer him shelter when he was on the way to Lanka. So he remembers and he again affectionately hugs that Mainak mountain and flies back. Now on the other side, Jambavan, Angada, all the Vanaras are waiting for him. And as soon as he nears that shore, Hanuman starts roaring in joy and looking at his entire body language itself, these Vanaras all come to know. Jambavan tells them that, see, the way in which Hanuman is flying and coming, I can make out that he has succeeded in his mission. So when Hanuman comes there, he tells them that I met Sita and he narrates all the events that happened there. Now, all these Vanaras are very enthusiastic. They say, let us all go to Lanka and let us, destroy those Rakshasas. Let us bring back Sita. But at that point of time, Jambavan, who is the eldest person there, he advises them. He says, no, our task which was given by Rama was to locate Sita. That is all that we have to do. We cannot take any further action on our own. Let us go back to Rama and inform him whatever we have found. And then let him decide what has to be done next. So very soon they want to reach Kishkinda, back to where Rama and Sugriva and Lakshmana are waiting. So on the way back, however, they pass by one place called Madhuvanam. Now this Madhuvanam is actually a garden which is belonging to Sugriva. And that has been handed over to a person called Dadimukha to maintain, to take care of that garden. Now they know that it is Sugriva's garden, and yet Jambavan encourages them. He said, okay, fine, all of us, let us go here and relax. Let us have the honey from these trees. Let us eat the fruits here. Let us take some nutrition from here and then we will go to Rama. So they storm into that Madhuvana and they are so happy. They are so thrilled that they have found Sita, that in that excitement, in that joy, they actually damage that Madhuvana. Now, seeing that they are doing so much damage, this Dadimukhan immediately rushes to Sugriva and he reports to Sugriva that, see, all your Vanaras have come into my Vana and I am not responsible. They are come there and they are doing a lot of damage in that place. And hearing that, we would expect that Sugriva would get angry. But now, hearing this news from Dadimukha, Sugriva is also very happy. It is said that, he starts jumping up and down and he kisses his tail because he is so happy. Rama is surprised that why is Sugriva doing like this? Then Sugriva tells Rama that, no, I understand. These monkeys, they have already delayed so much. This group which went in the southern direction, they are already far past the deadline which I had given them. And they have not come. And yet they have the audacity. They have so much, courage that they have gone into that Madhuvana and they have destroyed it. That means something really good they have found out. And that is an indication for us. Like this, Sugriva gives some courage to Rama. Now, just as they finish speaking all this, they notice that all the Vanaras have come flying and jumping, and with great joy they have come. And when they reach there, now all the Vanaras stand and it is Hanuman who speaks. Hanuman cha Mahabahu pranamya shirasa tataha niyatam akshatam devim Raghavaya nyavedayat. This Mahabahu, Hanuman, he bends his head low and he informs Rama that Sita is there and she is still constant in her devotion to you. She is safe and sound, she is fine, and she is there. प्रीत्या च प्रीत्या च रममाणो अथ राघव परवीरः बहुमानेन महता हनुमन्तम् अवैक्षत. Hearing this news, Rama looks with lot of joy, with lot of love and affection. He looks upon Hanuman. This is how Valmiki describes this meeting between Hanuman and Rama when Hanuman has come back from Lanka. So Hanuman is telling Rama that I have seen Sita, she is there in Lanka, she is safe and sound. And now Rama wants to know. He says, tell me in detail what happened, how did you go there, and what happened there, what all did my Sita say, what has she sent with you, and so on. So Hanuman, now all these monkeys, they are excitedly jumping about there. So Hanuman makes sure that they all sit down quietly, and then he starts to narrate what all happened ever since the time that they went from here. Now, before he starts his narration, however, he offers namaskara. He turns towards the southern direction and he does namaskar in that direction. And then he starts narrating. He tells all the things that happened. Then he tells about how he met Sita. He tells about her giving the Chudamani. He shows that Chudamani to Rama. And he also narrates about all those events that Sita had described, which were known only to her and Rama. Seeing that Chudamani of Sita, Rama is in tears and he says, oh, for him, just like when Sita saw the ring of Rama, she felt as if Rama was only in front of her. Similarly, now seeing this Chudamani of Sita, Rama feels that he is actually seeing Sita only in front of him. Now, Hanumanta tells Rama that Sita has said that she will not stay alive beyond 1 month and we have to reach there within 1 month. Hearing this from Hanuman's mouth, Rama says, oh, Sita is saying she can wait for 1 month. I cannot be separated for even 1 moment. Let us immediately proceed now and let us go to the seashore. Let us cross to Lanka and let us get back Sita. At that point of time, what is it that Rama says? This shloka Valmiki has given here. Kshanam saumyana jiveyam vinatam asitekshana. I cannot survive for even 1 moment without that black-eyed Sita. And with this, Valmiki completes the Sundarakanda. The next kanda which starts is the Yuddha Kanda. So now, hearing all this, whatever Hanuman has told, Rama is so happy and he feels very pleased with Hanuman's seva. Now he thinks that I'm having so much love for this Hanuman. I'm so thankful to him for all this seva that he has done. What can I give him as reward? In this place, at this point of time, I have nothing to give him. So the only thing I can give him is my embrace. And by embracing Hanuman, Rama blesses him at that point of time. Esha sarvasva bhutastu parishvango hanumatah maya kala mimam prapya dattastasya mahatmanah ityuktva pratihrishtango रामस्तं परिष्यस्वजे हनुमन्तं कृतात्मानं क्रयितवाक्यमुपागतम्. So he says, at this moment, I have nothing else. At least let me embrace this great Hanuman. And that embrace is something which I can easily give him. And saying like this, with lot of joy in his heart, what Rama does is, he hugs Hanuman. He gives him an embrace. And this Hanuman is now filled with joy at getting this embrace from the Lord. We said in the previous Kanda, when the Rama, Sita and Lakshmana were in the Aranya, Dandakaranya, all those rishis had come and they were so captivated by the form of Rama that they had said that we want to embrace you. But he had told them, no, I am not going to touch anybody except Sita in this Janma. And they had not got it. But now at this moment, seeing the great service that Hanuman has rendered, because Rama feels so much joy and because he is so full of wanting to bless Hanuman, he has nothing else to give him. At that moment, Rama blesses Hanuman by giving that most prized of things, his embrace. And Hanuman is very happy to be blessed in this manner by Rama. Now, at this point of time, they have decided, Rama says, let us all leave, and they go very quickly. They want to reach Lanka, but To reach Lanka, they will reach first the ocean shore. So they leave, and the next day itself, at night, they reach the ocean shore, and they all set up camp there. And now the point is they have to think what has to be done next. How do we cross over to Lanka? So our story part we will stop here, but there are a lot of deeper meanings for us in today's episode. So let us understand those things. Now we saw that when all these Vanras were coming back to Sugriva, Jambavan encouraged them that let us go into Madhuvana, let us eat the fruits there, let us relax a little, and then we will go to Rama. Why is it that he did like that? Because acharyas say here that if these monkeys, in their excitement at having found Sita, if they had just come rushing like that to Rama, they are vanaras. They have no sense of human etiquette and all that, isn't it? So, out of their excitement, what every vanara would have done was he would have gone and slapped Rama on the back and said, "Hey, I found Sita. Hey, I found Sita." Like that, they would have done. Now, Jambavan knows that this is what the Vanaras are going to do, and poor Rama will suffer getting one pat on the back from all the Vanaras. So he wants to make sure that these Vanaras have, satiated themselves. They have got their excitement all under control. And what is the way to do that? If they go there, if they spend some time in hitting those trees and taking those fruits and eating that nectar and getting that honey and all that, so that energy what is built up within them, that excitement will dissipate to some extent. And then when they reach Rama, they are not going to hit him in enthusiasm. So that is why Jambavan encouraged the Vanaras to go and do all that thing in Madhuvana. This is what Acharyas explain. Now we saw that when Hanuman starts telling Rama about what all he found and how he met Sita, before he starts speaking, he salutes in the southern direction. He does namaskar in the southern direction. Why is he doing that? He is offering namaskar to Sita. He is offering a mental prayer to Sita. And seeing this action of Hanuman itself, Rama has realized that Hanuman has indeed seen Sita. You remember we said that at the beginning, when the search parties were being organized, at that time, Hanuman had thought that why this Rama is, after all, she is just a woman. Why is Rama so crazy about her? Right? Now, when Hanuman went to see Sita, he went to Lanka and there he saw Sita. Then he realized the greatness and he said that she is equal to Rama in everything, but his bhava was that she is superior to Rama. And now, when he comes back to Rama and he bows in the direction of Sita, then Rama understands that yes, now Hanuman has understood the great prabhava of Sita. Now, Hanuman knows what exactly is the value of this Sita. So, by that action of Hanuman itself, Rama knows that Hanuman has realized the importance of Sita. In fact, in the Kamba Ramayana, where it is described this thing about how Hanuman came back and reported to Rama, in the first thing that Hanuman says, he says, Kanden Sitaye. Sita was seen like that. He's saying, seen by me was Sita. So why is he saying like that? Why can't he make a proper sentence and say, I saw Sita? The thing is that here the acharyas explain that Hanuman knows with what, so much of desire to hear the good news Rama is waiting. He's so ardently waiting to hear that Sita is fine. Now, suppose Hanuman starts saying, I found, Rama will not have patience to wait till then. So, the first thing he wants to convey is that he has seen. So, he's saying, seen by me was Sita because he's scared. If he says Sita first, then Rama may think that something bad has happened to Sita and he will not have patience to wait till the next word. So that is why what Hanuman does is he says, seen first, so that Rama knows, okay, Hanuman has seen. Seen by me was Sita. So here again, the Acharya say, this shows us the intelligence of Hanuman. We saw how when he went to Lanka and Sita was about to give up her life, he did not start the story of Ramayana by talking about Rama. He started with Dasharatha so as to not alarm Sita, isn't it? Similarly, here when he comes, he does not say Sita to start with. He says, seen by me was Sita. Like that, he starts telling. So again, Hanuman has proved his intelligence. Now, in today's times, we are telling, right, that people, when you have intelligence, it is academic intelligence or it is emotional intelligence or it is social intelligence, like that. So if you look at Hanuman's behavior throughout, he has all the types of possible intelligence, including spiritual intelligence, isn't it? So he's the most intelligent being, right? We call him Buddhimatam Varishtam. He is the most superior amongst the Buddhiman people, right? Okay. Now here Acharyas have another explanation for, they have a very unique viewpoint which is not told by other Sampradaya Acharyas. What they say is, if you compare these statements made by Sita and Rama, right? Who is superior now? Now, what did Sita say? She sent word with Hanuman that I will not live beyond a month without Rama. Okay. And Hanuman came and told that to Rama. The minute he hears that, what does Rama say? He says, I cannot live even a moment without Sita. So now, if you look at these two statements, what do we feel? We feel that who is more, saddened by being separated? It is Rama. Because Rama is saying, I can't live even a moment without her. And who is less saddened? It appears as if Sita says, I can live for 1 month without him, isn't it? I will wait for 1 month, she has told. That means she can manage to wait for 1 month. That seems like the superficial meaning. Okay. But in reality, if you compare Rama and Sita, whose Prabhava is stronger? Who is more superior among the two of them? Again, unsurprisingly, we are not surprised at all. The Acharyas say that Sita is superior. Why are they saying so? Here, the commentators give us an example. Suppose, let us say that I have lost my pen. Okay, it's a favorite pen of mine, and I have lost that pen. And the next day, my friend calls me and says, oh, you came to my house yesterday, you've left my pen here. So, what I will, and that friend says that I am coming after 1 week to your house. Is it okay? Shall I bring it then? So, I'll tell him, okay, fine, you bring my pen at that point when you come. Next week, you can bring it, no problem, I say. Now, suppose, let us say, I lost a gold earring. It fell somewhere and I didn't know what happened to it. And then somebody calls me, my friend calls and says, oh, your gold earring is fallen in my house. So, will I say, no, no, you bring it next week? No, I will say, oh, is it? Then please get it to me immediately. Or I will say, I will come and take it immediately. Isn't it? So, my reaction to that object depends on how dear that object is to me, right? So, if it is a pen, I don't have so much, yearning for that. I can, okay, I can live without the pen even for few weeks. But if it is my gold earring, then I have a lot of value for that gold earring. So I say, no, no, I want it immediately, right? So in my viewpoint, the pen is not so important. The earring is very important. So the earring has a lot of value for me, whereas that pen doesn't have so much value for me, right? So similarly here, the Acharyas say that if Sita is saying, I can live 1 month without Rama. Let him come. I am giving 1 month time and I will not do anything till then. If she is saying that I can bear Rama's separation for another 1 more month, that means Rama is probably not so important. But what Rama is saying, he's saying, I can't live even a moment without Sita. So, how great is the Prabhava of this Sita? Like that, the Acharyas explain that when you compare in this incident, if you compare and see, then the Prabhava of Sita is definitely greater. Sita is far, far superior. And that is why Rama is saying that I cannot live even a moment without Sita. Okay. Now, next, when Hanuman has gone and done this seva and come back, Rama is very happy. And in fact, in the Valmiki Ramayana, there are shlokas where Rama praises the qualities of Hanuman. He says, there are three types of dasas. There are some who do not do the work properly, whatever the master has told. That work itself they'll not do properly. There are others, the second category, who do exactly what the master has told. So they are obedient servants, they have done what master has told. But the most superior category of servants, of dasas, are those who do what the master told and also who understand what was in the mind of the Swami and do that part also, although the Swami did not specifically tell them to do that. So now if we analyze which category does Hanuman belong to, he is the most superior category of dasas. Rama told him, go find Sita and give her my message and come back. What did Hanuman do? He went there, he found Sita, he convinced her not to give up her life, he conveyed Rama's message to her, he showed her Rama's ring, he asked her to narrate incidents to prove that he has met her. Then he gave reassurance to her. He made her confident. He took her message. He assessed the strength of Ravana's, camp, and he set fire to Lanka. He did so much more than what the Swami had told him. So Hanuman is the most superior category of dasas because he understood what was in the deep mind of his master, and he did that also which Rama didn't specifically tell him. And that is why Rama is very happy with his seva, and he says to Hanuman, he embraces Hanuman and he says, how can I ever repay the debt which I owe you? Why is he saying that? Because Rama feels that this Hanuman has saved two lives. One, he went there and he told Sita about Rama. So he has saved Sita's life, isn't it? And then he has come with news of Sita to Rama, and now he has given some solace to Rama. So he has saved Rama also. And here the Acharyas explain that when Rama says to Hanuman that I will never be able to repay the rina that I owe to you, there what the Acharyas explain is that this shows us, we said that Hanuman is like the Acharya who has gone from the Paramatma, Rama, towards the Jivatma, Sita, with the message. And that is why the Acharyas explain that the Acharya's role is so great that even the Lord, even the Paramatma feels as if he has a rina to the Acharya, and he feels that he will never be able to repay that debt which he owes to the Acharya for connecting the Paramatma and the Jivatma. That is what explanation the Acharyas give here. Now, another very beautiful thing that the Acharyas explain is that this Hanuman, he played two roles. He went to Sita as Ramaduta and he came to Rama as Sita Duta, isn't it? He was messenger of Rama to Sita. And then he took the message from Sita and came back to Rama. Now, what did Hanuman get when he went as Ramaduta, and what did he get when he went as Sita Duta? Right? When he went as Ramaduta, he went to Lanka. He was captured by those Rakshasas, and those Rakshasas set fire to his tail. So, fire in the tail is what he got when he went as Ramaduta. What did he get when he came as Sita's Duta? He came to Rama, he told Sita's message, and that Rama, overwhelmed with joy, what did he give Hanuman? He gave him his embrace. He got Alingana of Rama. So, here again the Acharyas say that if you go as Ramaduta, you will get fire in your tail. If you go as Devi's Duta, you will get the embrace of the Lord Himself. So, yet again, the Acharyas use this point to tell us that the role of the Devi, the role of the Mata is very, very important. And we should approach the Lord through her only. When we go through her, definitely we will get the embrace of the Lord. This is a beautiful point that the Acharyas explained to us through this episode. So let us be grateful to the Acharyas. They have given us all these vyakhyanas. We are able to learn so many things. Let us offer gratitude at their lotus feet. Let us offer gratitude at the feet of Sri Rama. And let us pray that their blessings will always be on us. Mangalam Kosalendraya Mahaniya Gunabdhaye Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam Veda Vedanta Vedyaya Megha Shyamalamurtaye Pumsam Mohana Rupaya Punyashlokaya Mangalam Pitrabhaktaya Satatam Ratrabhihi Sasitaya Nandita Khila Lokaya Ramabhadraya Mangalam Srimate Raghuviraya Setu Langita Sindhave चितराक्षसराजाय रणधीराय मङ्गलं मङ्गलाशासनपरैर्मदाचार्यपुरोगमैः सर्वैश्च पूर्वैराचार्यैः सत्कृतायास्तु मङ्गलम्. Thank you, everybody. We'll meet again tomorrow and see what happens next. Namaskar.